let me give the podium over to our antibody expert, Professor Tatsuhiro Ishida.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much for Dr. Sudemeni for kind introduction. I'm honored to be here and to give a presentation. Actually, I'll talk today. I will talk about the anti-PEG antibody response to PEGylated nanoparticles. I believe all the people in this place understand how the PEG works to prevent the biological attacks. So I will just skip this, right? Actually, this is the first paper regarding the ABC phenomenon published in JPET 2000 from the Dr. Gladstone group. He is unfortunately not here. He is now in the other room. But anyway, at that time, they tried to develop the radioisotope labeled PEGylated liposome for diagnostics. That's why they injected a very tiny amount of phospholipid liposome, PEGylated liposome, twice into the same animals. Actually, first dose shows a very nice circulation property because of PEG shield. But after 1 week later, they injected the same liposome into the same animals. The second dose rapidly cleared from blood circulation within 15 minutes. And then extensively liver accumulation occurs. This is the first one. Actually, at that time, we were interested in the fate of the nanoparticle after administration, so we learned lots from this paper. And then we decided to begin to figure out the mechanism behind this issue. Since then, we spent more than 18 years, and then we published more than 25 papers relating to this issue, and then we learned lots. But due to time limitation, I just picked some important issue to understand what's happened and behind ABC phenomenon. Actually, when we injected a very tiny amount of PEGylated liposome, not like a doxil, such liposome accumulate into the spleen, then began to stimulate the B cells, special one located in the marginal zone in the spleen, actually. Marginal zone is located between the red blood cells rich. And then white pulp is mainly T cells and dendritic cells. So the marginal zone B cells works specially to deliver the antigen from the blood to the white pulp. Then the B cells need to couple days, actually 3 to 5 days, to mature, and then begin to create anti-PEG IgM into blood circulation. If there exists such antibody in the blood circulation, the second dose PEGylated materials, including the liposome, proteins, polymeric micelles, are coated by the anti-PEG IgM. Anti-PEG IgM doesn't have a specific receptor on the macrophages. IgG has an FC receptor, but the IgM doesn't have such a receptor, so IgM needs complement activation help. So finally, the poor second dose liposome are taken up by the macrophages via complement receptor mediated endocytosis. This is one Cooper cells from the rat liver. You will see this here small white spots. There are one each PEGylated liposome captured in the lysosome. Then we learned lots during our research, but I just picked good information for you to prevent the ABC phenomenon when you try to animal work. I don't know the human, but anyway. So if you inject a higher lipid dose, similar to Doxil or Calyx. If you encapsulate anti-cancer drug, which kill the B cells, also in combined with the anti-cancer drugs, the conventional chemotherapy or immunosuppressive drugs, and also you should use the higher dose, repeat dose. Also, if you use the non-CpG plasmid DNA or chemically modified nucleic acid, which has a low toll-like receptor activation. In that case, also, if you use the longer interval times, like 3 weeks or 4 weeks, you will not see any anti-PEG IgM production. So the second dose, your particles should be show the similar pharmaceutical PK to the first dose. Now we are focusing on the pre-existing anti-PEG antibody issues. Professor Suzemeni also mentioned. Actually, 50 years ago, researchers indicated that several people already has a anti-PEG IgM, but we exposed the PEG because cosmetics contained PEG, medicine contained PEG, cookies also contained PEG, a kind of PEG. So the population having the anti-PEG IgM increasingly, gradually, every year. I think so. So last 2 years ago, 2 papers already published. Also, this is our result. We obtained the donated blood from Japan Red Cross, and then we checked the anti-PEG IgM titers. So you can see here, 8.5% people, Japanese people, got the anti-PEG IgM already. We are not sure the background of each people because this is a donated blood, so we don't know how old the species, a man and a woman. But anyway, randomly, 8.5 people has such IgM already. So probably EU, USA should be similar condition. This is one of the possibility. I can't say, this is a major reason, but we focus on the cosmetics. We bought each cosmetics and then try to put each one onto the hairless rat, 60 days. So I'm happy to have such a patient students. And then only lotion caused anti-PEG IgM induction. Because as you know, lotion contains sometimes the alcohol or the accelerator to increase the permeability of the contents. But the sunscreen and the shampoo doesn't have such way. So probably the lotion, penetrate some PEGylated materials into the skin probably. So, you might have such a question after listening my talk. If we detect pre-existing or induced anti-PEG IgM in the blood circulation, next those PEGylated particles are always cleared rapidly. Yeah, used to be I say yes, but recently the answer is not necessarily. This is a very complex issue, but I will try to explain why, Recently, we published one paper in Molecular Pharmaceutics, and sorry, this is small, but anyway, the first of those PEGylated over-albumin, this is a protein, right? Also, PEG GCSF, PEG interferon also induced anti-PEG IgM in the animal model. Of course, the PEGylated ribosomes induced anti-PEG IgM. So I assumed, anyway, the second dose PEGylated material should be gone. But see, the anti-PEG IgM from the PEG OVA cleared rapidly PEGOVA for the second dose, also PEG liposome. But the anti-PEG IgM from PEG liposome does not cause the rapid clearance to the PEGOVA. So there are somehow cross-reactivity of the anti-PEG IgM. As I mentioned, the key factors to cause the ABC phenomenon is the anti-PEG IgM binding as well as the subsequent complement system. In vitro experimental, all anti-PEG IgM we detected can bind to the antigen in vitro. But in vivo, probably I believe anti-PEG IgM bound to the such materials in the blood circulation, but somehow such an immunocomplex never trigger the complement activation. We have several evidence by the Western blot analysis or something like that, but not yet published. So maybe next time I'd like to show you the clear one. Then I'll give me a couple minutes to change the topic. The ABC phenomenon is actually bad side, for the development of the drug. But we oppositely use such a mechanism to the cancer vaccine. The contents mainly conducted by Taro Shimizu, but the content has been accepted Journal of Immunology just yesterday. So I'd like to share something. Okay, during the research, he found out a very nice point. When we injected the second dose PEGylated liposome at the day 3, not day 5. Day 5, all liposome gone into the liver. But the third day, at day 3, when we injected the second dose, mainly they are bound to the marginal zone B cells. Marginal zone B cells here. And then he found out the marginal zone B cells here, those are liposome, transport the liposome to the FO region, which is rich of the T cells and then dendritic cells. So his idea is, if we encapsulate the antigen into the second dose PEGylated liposome, the marginal zone B cells automatically deliver such an antigen into the immunological response rich level. So we checked that concern actually. So we immunized empty liposome. 3 days later, we injected the antigen. Then he challenged the tumor. So it works very well. Also, he immunized he inoculated the tumors. This is the OVA expressing model tumors. And then he injected, immunized that, and then he successfully stopped the tumor growth like that. Yeah, so that's why this is very unique strategy, but the other side of the ABC phenomenon. Okay, this is my team. Thank you very much for attention and patience. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We are in time, so there is time and room for questions. Well, if not, then we discussed so much. So ask 10 questions.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That leaves more time for others.